Gonna take a second for the viewers to come in.
All right, cool.
This is life with diabetes. For 30 million Americans, there's no cure yet, but there are ways to help. Let's prevent it from becoming the everyday reality for millions more. All right, we got 12 people in so far. I'm gonna let it fill up a little bit more before we get started.
Nice. All right.
But how's everything been going with you, man?
Oh man, cold.
It's cold.
We're in Virginia. Why is it so cold? It's crazy. Oh
Man, so you been getting any work in lately?
yeah. Actually, this past week wasn't too bad. And I thought it slowed down. I didn't really have much planned next week. I had a few regular customers that some of my quarterly maintenance customers that I was going to do. But all of a sudden, I got a coding job for next week and a couple of other jobs. So, like, all of a sudden, next week is full, and I'm already planning for the following week, which is nice. So, it's weird how it comes in waves like that. You think it's going to slow down, and then all of a sudden, you get tons of calls, and you end up, booking out your weeks. So, yeah. How are things in your neck of the woods?
Oh, everything's good. I mean, it was maybe like 2 weeks ago we had some cold weather, some freezing weather, but it's like it's like a few days, like maybe 1 or 2 days,
Yeah.
and then like today it was 70 degrees today.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
think it was only like high 40s today.
yeah, that's good enough to work in.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And especially the humidity. I've learned with talking with sporties about checking the humidity on
Hmm.
your, what app do you use? Do you use Google
I'll use
Weather?
either Weather Underground or the weather station. I use those two apps together.
Those two apps, okay.
Yeah.
I use like AccuWeather and Google
Nice.
Weather, and
Nice.
it's pretty accurate. Most of them are pretty accurate. I um I always look at the humidity, and when the humidity is high, it's probably gonna rain in the next couple of days or the next day.
Yep.
And but it can be 40 degrees or it can be 45 degrees, but the real feel will be 45 degrees,
Yeah.
versus when the humidity is low and it's 45 degrees, but the real feel could be 39.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a big difference. And then the wind. So I started to learn to pay attention to all of that.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, the wind chill will make a huge difference. If it's even even if it's like mid 30s, but it's sunny with no wind, it feels much warmer. It's decent to even work in, even when it's mid 30s. Creeping towards freezing. You could
Right.
work in it if there's no wind and if the sun is shining on you. It's nice.
Right. And the humidity is up there.
Yep.
Yeah, you can still work. But I'm just lucky. I'm down south. I'm in Mississippi, so like Mississippi, uh, Alabama, Georgia, um, North Carolina, South Carolina, places like that. When sometimes you have a lot of warm weather in the wintertime.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect you as much, like like up north. Like up north, it'll snow so bad. But the thing about up there, by talking to people up north, they'll say, right after the snow clears, then your phones are ringing off the hook because of all the salt and all the getting in and out your car, tracking in dirt mixed with snow and water, and
Exactly.
you destroy your cars during that time, and everybody's wanting to get them cleaned up.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's the weird thing. I've never detailed up north. I'm from the north, so I was born and raised in Boston, and then moved to Vermont like before I was a teenager, and I've always experienced cold and snow. But we moved down here and started this business, so I've never experienced working detailing up there. I did do the mobile bumper painting up there, so I guess
Yeah.
it's similar. But I was working out of a trailer, kind of like what I'm doing now. But it was a little different. But man, I can't imagine having to struggle up there with detailing. I don't know if we'd be able to make it. It's so crazy.
Right. All right, we got like 20 people in already, so I guess I'll get started now, man. But I've been paying attention, man, to your channel. Um, I look at some of everybody's channels, especially people that they have followers that are growing. And hold on just a second. All right, and I basically watch people that have a large following or a growing following,
Mm.
and I've noticed like everybody has the same, has the same thing, which is consistency. Not only consistency in uploading, but the quality of the videos, the content, the camera angles, um, and I try to copy it as as much as I can, but in my own way.
Yeah.
And I've also noticed that since our last interview, I think you was at maybe I want to say somewhere between 700 and 900 subscribers. That last interview was in April.
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
It was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
April.
you're right.
It
No,
was
it
in
was
April.
that because it was in July. No, June is when I think I surpassed 1,000 finally. I think it was,
Right.
or maybe a little bit. I think it was the end of May, and then it was June that I noticed that they actually monetized the channel
Right.
at that point. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. It was
Yeah.
under 1,000.
It was under 1,000. It was between I want to say it was more like 800 or high sevens, eights or something like that. But
Yeah,
I don't quote me on it. But I noticed that, and since then, your subscribers had your subscribers, your likes, your views have almost tripled, if not tripled.
yeah, yeah. I just broke
And
2,300.
right, and I was just wondering, like, what is your strategy when making videos, and why do you make them?
Um, I guess I'll start with the reason why. I started making videos. I just wanted to make a few videos, um, just showing the different detailing services that we offer, and I kind of made them for customers, thinking, oh, if they want a full detail, let me send them the video. That way, they have an idea of what a full detail is. So I started it that way, but I kept going. So I just kept making more of them. I'm like, well, I'm going to make an interior video on this one because every detail is a little bit different. Some vehicles are messier, some vehicles are not as bad. And then I want to show all the different aspects. You can't fit everything in one video. So I'm like, I don't want to make a super long video. I don't want it to be too short. I want to show as much as possible. So I guess I'm like, well, I guess I might have to make a couple of different videos showing the different aspects of interior and exterior. So that's what it started with, and it just kind of kept going and going. I kind of got addicted to it. Actually making the videos and then thinking, oh, maybe the customers want to see how I clean this or this little bit, like the seatbelt buckle that needs to be cleaned, or maybe this little area that needs to be cleaned. And it just kept going from there. Um, so when I actually started to post the videos and people started to actually comment, and then I noticed the subscribers going up and people actually commenting and saying not just the good job, which is nice, but saying some specific stuff like, oh, I like how you did that, or hey, can you show me this, or what chemical are you using? Then I started to notice like it's going to be more than just this is a channel for customers or videos just for customers. it kind of morphed into, this is going to be maybe a how-to type of channel, or maybe a tutorial channel, or to help other detailers to show like, hey, this is how I clean this, thing, and with this type of chemical and with this strategy. And so it kind of morphed into that. And I just kept making more and more and more and more videos, and it just kept going. Um, and then with the strategy part of it, I do take the comments very seriously. Like the actual positive reinforcement ones, even some of the ones that were negative, that were just like, I don't like that way you do it, or I don't like this way, or maybe a lot of comments were like, I don't like the music, I don't like the time lapse, don't speed it up, just slow it down and have no music. I'm like, okay, I'll compromise a little bit. I tried to do that. And I think now my videos, I'm trying to do more, um, you know, no music in the background and almost just real time as much as I can. And I think the people are liking it. I think the subscribers are liking it because I noticed a big jump since I started doing that. And I've been splitting up the videos, like part one and part two, because they're so long now. So I think now my strategy is, how much content can I put in the video to show a good amount of cleaning something with enough time spent there so that people actually can see pretty much the whole process, and the tools, and the products involved, and then have links to those products. Because I still have people asking what a certain product or chemical is, or tool that I'm using. So yeah, I think now my strategy has shifted into more of a tutorial type of channel, and some how-tos and even some reviews as well. So going forward, I think I'm going to possibly change it up, like, or keep it the way it is now. I have a few videos already, that are going to be premiered soon, for the next Mondays to follow, that are following the same format. So they're going to be more real time. They're going to be split up 1 and 2, but it's going to show a lot more content. It's going to show a lot more of what some of the people have been wanting and have been asking about. So I do try to compromise as much as possible. There's some, times, when you're detailing something, especially with me and my wife in there, where sometimes we're talking back and forth. You don't want all that audio in there. Some of it I'll keep in there if it's fine, but some of it is personal stuff. So I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna show. So that's why you'll see, like, hey, all of a sudden there's music. Like, well, that's because we're probably talking. So it'll
Right.
go back to, regular audio, the background noise and everything. But so I try to have a little bit of everything in there for people to enjoy.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sporty's just talking about he got that water heater from you. He went and ordered it, and he's been using it. That's all he talked. That's all he's been talking about
Oh,
for the last couple of days.
was that the bucket one, the 5-gallon bucket
The
water heater?
bucket, the fuck,
Yeah.
yeah, the little, yeah.
Yep. That saved me on a couple of jobs where your water goes cold and you're like, now I got no cold. Now I got no hot water. Yeah, I
Right.
love that thing.
Yeah, I'll be picking up me one soon. But the thing with me is, it's kind of one of those things that you rather have it and not need it.
I know.
Right.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, there's a couple of tools and things that I'm still thinking of getting, but I'm like, do I really need it? Because there's some tools I bought and they sit there, and I'm like, huh, maybe it's a good time. I should use this today, or I should use this now. Um, but every once in a while, you do need that certain tool or product that you don't use all the time, but there are times when you want it, and when you need it. So
Right. Okay. And that's funny how you said how you started out doing videos. You had one reason why you was doing it, or you went in one way and then it turned into something else.
yeah,
And that's kind of the same thing that happened to me. My favorite thing about YouTube is that it opens up you. It basically just it opens up you to just different types of things that you probably would have never expected.
definitely.
Um, I remember some years back. Actually, it was when I was still at my job before I started my business, and when I was thinking about leaving, I wanted to do an online store.
Hmm.
And so I was doing my research on the products and shipping and stuff like that. And I want to sell like electronics on online. And so I had got a contact with a distributor, and I'm talking with the distributor, and I'm telling her my plans and everything. And once I told her I was doing an online store, she was like, "Wow, I don't know about that." And I'm like, "Why you say that?" And she was just telling me that she knew a guy who put like 10 grand into an online store, but he couldn't get anybody to the store. Like he couldn't get anybody. Like if you create a website, how are you going to get people to come to your website?
Hmm.
And so YouTube was definitely around then, but it wasn't very popular at the time for people to use YouTube as a catalyst to go to bring them to different to channel them to other different platforms.
Yeah.
And what happened is when I started doing YouTube, I ran into G Works channel, and I'm watching G Works channel. I'm watching him. We pretty much kind of doing the same type of videos, and then one day I saw him. He was like, "I'm selling chemicals on my website," and I'm like, I'm paying attention, and then Sporty's the same way, and I'm like, wow, those guys are using YouTube to bring people to their website.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, and it brought me back to that moment when I was talking to that lady on the phone. I was like, that's how I could have done it, but I didn't know it. I didn't know then.
Yep. Yep.
So with that being said, what did YouTube expose you to and your company, and have you taken advantage of anything?
Yeah. I would have to say, um, when I started that channel, of course, and putting out the videos, I did pay attention to a lot of other detailers out there, like White Details, like Jim White from White Details. His videos are iconic; they're awesome. And AM Details, Alan there, and a couple of other ones. But those are the two ones for some reason that I just stick with. I'm always watching their stuff because Alan from AM Details, of course, he has a shop. He sells his own products, and he's got a nice YouTube presence. It's not a huge following, but I like his content. I like the way he does things. I like his intros, which I kind of started kind of copying from a little bit, and the way he plugs certain things in his videos. So I started noticing that because I wasn't using like the little card pop-ups, at the top of the screen, um, not knowing exactly where to place those, why they're there, where to place them, and all that. So I started paying attention to those little details in those videos, um, and then that's when I started doing, using the cards effectively, up in the corner to go to either Patreon or the website where I now started that dedicated page with basically it's just the Amazon links. But I thought people were always trying to figure out what the product was, like where the link to it is down in the description, because you can only fit so many. And you don't want to overload that description with tons of text where it's kind of hard to see what product you're looking for. And I would have a challenge with that. Like if I saw a video, I'm like, ooh, what's that product? And you go to the description and you're like, you see a whole list of links and you got to read through them. And you're like, well, I don't know which one is exactly which, unless they labeled it correctly. So I kind of took a tip from that, and I'm like, okay, here's what I would like to see is the actual pictures. Since I'm visual, I want to see the pictures of whatever the tool or product that there is, and then click on them, and then go to, the Amazon site or whatever, or eBay. So that's when I made that dedicated page on our website. And when I did that, I was keeping track of the Google Analytics on that page, and it was getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hits. So again, I started out saying like, oh, I wanted to make a dedicated page so that people can see the pictures and then click on them easily. And I guess I didn't really think about that, yeah, that's going to draw more attention to the website anyway. So having that little card pop up there that says, check out our tools and products, go to the page, that's going to increase your views and your hits on, I mean, on that page alone. But from there, you know, hopefully they stick around and start going to the other parts of your website. But I noticed that was a huge influx of people going to that page because you're utilizing the cards up there and explaining it too. At the beginning of the video, at the end of the video, and even throughout the video, say, hey, this is the product I used. Check out links below, or, you know, whatever cards I'll pop up in the corner. So I got to say that helped a lot when I started seeing people using those cards effectively. I think I got a lot of tips also from Nick Nimmin, his channel. Have you checked him out? Have you seen his stuff, Nick Nimmin?
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of him.
Oh, yeah, you gotta definitely check him out because all his videos are very short, very brief to the
Yeah,
point.
if you don't mind, just can you when we get off the chat, just or if
Yeah,
you can right now, if you got your cell phone,
yeah,
just like send me share me his one of his videos.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I'll do that. And basically, he works with a company. I can't remember if it's his company or if he just works with it. TubeBuddy is the basically it's kind of like an addition to YouTube, and that helps you with analytics. It helps you make sure that you're doing everything right on your channel. And it's a paid thing. You can pay like either $5 for a basic setup, or you can pay a certain amount a month for other things. You know, really good tools like bulk editing your videos. So if you're like, oh, I want to add this link in to all of my descriptions, and I have 100 videos, that means you have to go through every single video, and it's tedious to go and fit that link in that description. So if you pay for that TubeBuddy service, that's one of the perks. That's one of the things is you can bulk edit all sorts of stuff. Your hashtags, you know, your keywords, anything in your description, you can just add something in there and it'll do it to all of your videos across your channel. That's just one of the things that's really handy. So Nick Nimmin is one of the guys that I watch a lot just to get some good tips, good ideas. He talks about good thumbnails, driving traffic, you know, to your YouTube channel, utilizing the cards up here, utilizing all the points of YouTube that a lot of us are like, well, what does this do? What is this for? You know, what is the benefit of that? He explains that stuff very briefly and concisely, which is really good. So I gained a lot of info from him as well.
Okay.
So definitely check him out.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna put that in this. I'm gonna put that in the description of this video,
Yeah.
so people can. I just learned something because like when you learn something new, like you said, you got to go back and try to apply that to videos
Yeah.
you did a year ago, and this is just you know sometimes you just say you know what you just say forget it and start from this point and move forward. But that's amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Utilize all those past videos that I'll go back and see how many hits certain videos have. And I think the biggest ones were the hydrosilics video. Man, I think that got over like 15,000 views or more. And then I had my old mobile detailing setup that got like 20,000 something views. It was a crazy amount. And a few other ones in the beginning. For some reason, some of those videos the views just exploded on them.
right. Most of the time most of the time when you have videos like that, when you just doing your regular thing, it's the title.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
have setup, if you have interior setup,
Yeah.
those type of things in your title, because that is what people are searching. When somebody wants to get into detail, they're searching setup. That's the biggest thing they're searching. Water tanks, uh, generators, stuff like that. That's the biggest thing that they're searching for. So
Yeah.
if your channel I guess if you're uploading a lot of videos, it's kind of like what Randy on here talks about all the time, like the SEO, the search engine optimization.
Yep.
You know, the more videos you upload, it's like you're flooding the internet with videos, and it's like you start moving up the list, and you're already out there. So if you put out a video like that that has a title that everybody's looking at, you're gonna come up in that recommended because of the amount of videos that you have on YouTube.
Yep. Exactly.
And I think that's what has something to do with it, because I got a video. I had a video that I did maybe 2 years ago, and then I took the same video and re-edited it, took some stuff out and added some stuff to it. That video now is almost at 200,000 views.
Whoa.
And all I did was the video was about I do lawn care as well, so the video was about edging. It was edging with a trimmer, and I was just showing the different ways that you can edge, why you should edge this way, why you should edge that way, avoiding breaking windows and throwing debris this way and that, and it was called Tricks of the Trade Weed Eater Versatility. And I have a whole Tricks of the Trade series, and just about every video in that playlist has over 1,000 views.
Wow. Yep.
So the only thing that I did different was the title. So
Yep.
yeah, and if you have something, that makes a big difference. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's I didn't even think to ask you that question, but I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
But
I'll have to go back now and really analyze what it is about those videos. Maybe I put more in the description. I've actually been kind of lazy about putting stuff in description or in the description, because I just have it automatically upload. But thinking back, and Nick Nimmin does mention this too, to make sure to use certain things in the description, like repeat the title and just do a brief little explanation of what you're doing, because Google is going to search and YouTube is going to search your description too.
exactly.
So I've been kind of lazy.
Not cutting you off, but it's funny that you say that. If in that description as well, when you repeat the title, when you write a brief summary about what the video is about, if you continue to use the words that's in the title as well, that plays a role as well.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I did hear that. Yeah, so I got to utilize that a little bit more, and go back and do that to the videos and analyze those videos a little bit more. Perhaps even some of the cards and things in there I should probably update as well. That'll definitely draw some more people to even the website and everything else. So yeah, I noticed a question on here. Somebody had asked, did I create my own website? From Cold, Connecticut. First inline mobile detailing. Yeah, I actually did create our own website. Is it okay if I answer some of those questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually back in high school, I did take some graphic design and some web design. I mean, it was super, super basic, very, very basic. But when we started the business, I wanted to, get a good website. And I knew even at that point that was important, because I was searching stuff, and I'm like, if you see a good website, you hang on. You're like, ooh, it's visually pleasing. It's got tons of info. That's what you want to stick with. So my first attempt was pretty horrible. I mean, the first website was ridiculously basic and ugly. But, little by little by little, I created all my own artwork, like all the artwork that you see on there, other than the company logos, of course, of certain products like Geon and a few other ones. I created all myself. I just use like either the free program called GIMP, which is like, it's a, what do you call it? It's kind of like Photoshop, but it's free, and it's pretty basic still. It's not like really like Photoshop, but there's a lot of features in there. So I use that and a few other little free programs, and made my logo and made the buttons and made the reflections and stuff like that. And I think I got it to the point now where it's good. I'll change things up every once in a while, just because I like to change stuff up.
Right.
Plus, it's good to do too. You change some text around, you add stuff, and actually Google likes that. They want to see some change, and they'll actually research your website, which is good. So yeah, I did do it myself, but it just took a long time to get it to the way that I have it now and the way that I liked it. So I wouldn't call myself a web designer. I'm just over time I did it.
Right. The key is getting started, and
start with something. Yeah.
And start with something. And see this. I'm glad, like, when I bring people on here like you guys, because we all say the same thing. I haven't like you guys, all my subscribers out there listening. This is the first time I've talked to Miranda since the last interview. And if you notice that he's saying the same thing. When I said you just got to start, and he said, yeah, start with something. That's something that I say on here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It may be you like Sporty said, when you start for the first time, it's probably gonna suck. It's probably gonna be horrible.
Yep.
But just keep doing it. When it sucks, you be like, okay, that sucks. I should have did this. And then
Yep.
you change it. And you just keep building off that foundation and keep going.
Yeah.
But another question I want to ask you, with me, editing is like fun to me, right? But now it's getting a little bit boring for me because I think I've outgrown my software.
Mm.
So, what editing software do you use
So I use
now, and what did you use in the beginning?
so what I used in the beginning was my own phone, like some cheap little, or not even cheap, just some free video editor on the iPhone and on my iPad. That was just super basic. You put up your videos. Actually, most of it wasn't even videos. I think it was like a little video clip here and there, but it was mostly moving pictures. Just like pictures kind of zooming in and out, and some text and music in the background. That was it. Then I was like, okay, I need to search for a better program, because then I started getting a little serious about it. So I bought a nicer camera, and I was serious about it. And before I even put any videos out, I was kind of making them myself and practice editing and making them and then viewing them myself, because I didn't want to just put something out prematurely. So I did searching, and I didn't buy any of the other expensive programs, but I downloaded some of the other free ones. I forget which ones they are. They weren't free, but they were like the demos for them. And using them, I'm like, this is so confusing. I don't know what it was about them, but they were very confusing to use. Not very intuitive. But I stumbled across one called Filmora. So it's Filmora.
You guys, y'all write that down.
Yeah, and the company that makes it is called Wondershare. So Wondershare is the main company, and then they make like a picture program, the video editing program, which is Filmora, and a few other little programs to go along with that. And then they have like packages of text that you can buy and animations, all that stuff. But it's super reasonable. It was right now I'm doing the yearly subscription, which is only $40 for the year, and then it renews at the end. But I just look back on the website and I'm like, I don't know why I did this. Oh, I know why, because I just wanted to try it out for a year. That's all. And it was $40, and it just renewed it again for another $40. But when I went to look back, I was going to just buy it outright, because it's only $60 to buy it outright. So super affordable. But then when I started using the program, it's extremely user friendly. So very intuitive. It's literally drag and drop. You have your channels in the bottom, basically. You have like your video channel that goes across, the timeline. Your picture channel, a couple of different picture channels that you can overlay pictures and video. Your audio, your text. You can do tons of stuff with text, all the different animations with text. Really customize it. And I'm still learning stuff on that program too. So I would definitely suggest that program. Wondershare Filmora is super easy to use, and surprisingly a lot of effects that you can do with it. I just, with the new intros, I got a green screen here that I bought on Amazon. I think that about the whole, setup. It came with a green, a black, and a white screen, and the whole frame setup. I think that was only like $50.
Oh, so
So
that's what you use when you be talking before your video with your
yeah,
logo behind you.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's that's dope. That's dope,
When
man.
I first learned that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a green screen. I'm going to do a background.
Hey,
And I was
you're
going to
like a
do other
kid.
goofy stuff
You're
with
like a
it.
kid right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to do some other goofy stuff with it, but like have the car in the background and point to stuff. But I'm like, I won't go that corny yet. Maybe later. But but yeah, I did that. And I'm like, oh, this is great. Now I can just have my little logo, which that logo, I think, I don't know if I talked about it before on the other video. The logo that you see, it's actually moving a little bit, like it's animated a little bit. I
Right.
never noticed it.
Yeah. I
Um,
noticed.
yeah, so basically that is the end, like a clip at the end of the main logo that actually shows up, and it has a
Right.
reflection that goes across it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I noticed that it was very similar. So what you did is just took a picture of it
yeah,
and
I
just
just
got a
took that
still
last
picture and
end
just got
clip.
it sitting there.
Yeah, so I got that end clip, which is maybe like 4 seconds long. And in Filmora, I created that back, the background was there already, but I took that clip and I just duplicated it, and I actually made a transition. You can't see the transition because it blends. So it just looks like a continuous reflection that just keeps flowing across it, and it's just endless. So I made
Oh, so the reflection that's moving is actually a transition.
it. Yeah, the
Did you do that
reflection.
on purpose or it just happened that way?
No, the reflection is the animation itself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the animation itself, but how it continues to go, because it's only a 4 second clip. So I'm like, how do I
Right.
make it continue? Like, it's looped basically.
Right.
But to make the loop seamless, because you would see the reflection and then it would just start over again, and
Right.
start over again. But to make it seamless, you add a transition within that company Filmora that's like I think they just call it either, it's not fade, it's dissolve or something.
Right.
But when you dissolve a picture into the same picture, it's pretty much seamless. So it just looks like an endless loop with no break, with no distortion in the middle, of it. So it just continues like that, nice and smooth. So that I actually created within Filmora and then just overlaid it, or in the background on the green screen, popped it up, and it'll just stay there for as long as I need it to be. It'll stay there. So all those little tricks that I just kind of learned from using that Filmora program, and it just adds. I don't know. I think I like it. Just adds a little bit more depth, a little bit more interesting, interestingness to the videos and to the intros and outros.
Okay. Um, I once had a subscriber that asked me how often should he do YouTube videos to gain subscribers.
Mm.
And I told him that, I think you should be very active and like drop at least one a day. And I mean, he was just thought that was insane. So what advice would you give a new YouTube creator on gaining a following?
I would. I mean, man, if I can put out one a day, that would be awesome. I don't know if I have time to edit like that, but I at first I'm like, okay, I want a dedicated day to do it. That was another thing I learned from Nick Nimmin and some other YouTube creators. Have a dedicated day and time and stick with it. Be consistent. So I think in some of my videos when I did that, because I was just dropping them whenever, like whenever I got it done, like drop a video, just whenever. Which, I guess at first that's okay, just to get your videos there. But then eventually, even saying the videos, I think I said it in some of my earlier videos, like I will be dropping videos on Mondays at 7 a.m. in the morning. I picked that day. I'm like, hey, I figured Mondays, people are starting the week. They're probably tired. Maybe they want something entertaining to watch or something interesting to watch to start their week off right. So I figured, hey, early in the morning, 7 a.m. Monday morning, drop a video, and then every once in a while, I'd want to fill in with Fridays, same thing in the morning, at the end of the week, depending on how much content and time I have. Looking back on it, I do wish I was doing at least 3 times a week. I think it would have been gone faster. But maybe it was also a learning curve because I was getting used to the editing and it would take up time. I usually do it in the evenings when I'm just relaxing and just edit video, and it can take a while. So I'd say at least 3 times to start. until you start to see that following. And when you see people commenting and you know positively commenting on them, that's a good sign, because that's how it started. It's a good sign because people are like, "Ooh, I found your channel, loved it." I'm like, all right, that's good. That means other people are going to start to hopefully jump on, and especially if they share it. I always say, like, share the video with others, and I think that helps too. So um, definitely also have a good intro. They said, doing research when it comes to people's attention span, they did a study and it's 8 seconds. Like, if you don't catch their attention within 8 seconds, they're most likely going to change. They're going to do something else. If they're like, yeah, I don't feel like watching this, or there's nothing interesting in there for me to watch. So that's when I started doing like the little clips in the beginning that I did for like 5 seconds. Like, in this video, we're doing this, this, and this. And then have your intro and then go into, the logo, and then go into that. Another trick that I learned from Nick Nimmin and a few other ones. If you know that now, start doing that now. Like, start doing your videos like that. Even if your videos are small, begin with good technique like that. And I think that'll go a long way when you start with good technique.
Okay. So yeah, like I'm a numbers type of guy, and like this guy you keep bringing up, like Nick Nimmons,
Yeah.
and you also, when you brought him up, you also said something about analytics.
Yes.
And I like to keep up with my analytics. I like you just said, I pay attention to, I know that fact that you just gave out, that researchers show that the average attention span is like 8 seconds. You
Mm-hmm.
don't catch them in that 8 seconds, they're done.
Yeah.
Um, and also, like, I know you have to have this. I know you have what, like, YT Studio download on your phone.
Oh yeah, yeah, I do. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Oh
that breaks it down. Yeah, you could go to the video
yeah.
and you can actually look at the analytics for that particular video, or the analytics of your entire channel, or everything. And I look at that stuff all the time, and I look at the age group,
Mm-hmm.
and male versus female, what part of the country, you know it gives you so many different, it breaks down so many different statistics in so many ways.
Yeah.
So do you keep up with your analytics? And if so, what effect does it have on the content that you provide on your channel?
Yeah, I definitely do. Um I'll look at the numbers at least. The views are an important thing too, because if I notice that some videos, like, I put all this work into this one video and I'm like, how come I only have 500 views when the other ones are like up in the thousands? Um so I don't know if it's just sometimes, because I think I do everything the same, as far as prep work and uh, cards and all those things when publishing those videos. But yeah, I'll pay attention to that. I'm like, what is it in that video that I did or didn't do? Um, Try to implement it in the next ones, and stay consistent. So I'll look at stuff like that. Um, and as far as the hours watched too, the minutes and hours watched, that's another interesting thing, because sometimes I'll look at some of the videos. I'm like, it's only 1,000 views or 1,500 views, and it's been out for a while. But then when you look at your hours watched and your minutes watched, um, it's way more than you would think. So that's a good thing, because it means, okay, maybe not as many people are viewing that video, but they're staying on there for longer periods of time, which is
Right.
also another good thing that you want. You want that retention. Like, you want people to watch the whole video through, or at least a huge portion of it. Um,
Exactly.
and I think I'm keeping track of some of the videos now, and I'm noticing that the hours watched are also climbing, like they're going up. So I'm thinking that's good, because it means the videos are not shorter, I should say. They're still 30 minutes long, but they're not an hour long now. They're split up. But I think people are fully watching it through, because they want to see either the end results or they want to see the whole process through to the end of one particular section. If I'm doing a real time of cleaning carpets and vacuuming, they want to see that whole process and maybe not miss anything. If you sped it up, they can watch it in just a few seconds. But if you have it in real time, you're actually increasing your retention because you're making them watch the entire process, which a lot of the customers, a lot of the subscribers have been asking for. They want to see the whole process in real time. So I think that's working.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's working. I'd like to increase my views, but then again, if they're staying on there for longer, that's just as good.
Okay. So when I started off, I was telling you how I've been paying attention. Your channel's been growing, and it's really grown a lot in the past 6 months. Have you experienced any negative comments? And I'm not talking about constructive criticism. I'm talking about just outright negative. And if so, how do you deal with it?
I think I've only dealt with a small number of them that were, just simply just negative, just trolls, just going on and just saying something or whatever. That does kind of get to me because you put all this work into the videos and you're trying to please everybody and try to make it entertaining and educational and put all this on there. But of course you're going to get negativity out there. And even I know this is weird. Maybe it's not weird, but when you see the thumbs down, that kind of gets to me. I'm like, why do a thumbs down? Why? I mean, what's the reason? Like, who is going on there looking at the video and they're just like, I don't like carpet cleaning. Thumbs down. It's so weird. It is really weird. Like, who are those people? But so I'll look at that too, and I'm like, that gets to me. So I try to be gracious when answering people. I never want to be negative myself. Sometimes I'll get a little snarky with people. Like if they are just like complete negative, I'll just do a rollover laughing emoji face, like why? What? I just laughing at it. And usually I leave it at that because they never comment back. But then some of them I will explain because some of them maybe people don't understand like what I'm doing in the videos, why I do it a certain way. And actually a good example of that, which it didn't really start out as constructive criticism, but then it kind of turned into it. And I actually apologized to the person because I admit I was kind of being a jerk about it just because I'm like, I'm going to answer this back. But basically, it was in one of the videos, like one of the upholstery videos that I did a while back, and I was not even happy with the job. It was a car that was actually stolen from a customer. Who knows what happened in it? And the customer got it back, and it was trashed. I think it was a Hyundai Elantra or Sonata or something like that with that, that like cream cloth interior. Horrible. I mean, it was a wreck. And at the end, I was still not happy with it. And I'm like, I was still going back, even after the video, stuff was wicking up. And I'm like, oh, this is driving me nuts. But I'm like, but I made the video basically saying, like, this is sometimes just the facts. You can hit it with the steamer, the extractor, all sorts of stuff. And then a few minutes later, it wicks back up. And sometimes even with all the chemicals, you can't stop it. You can't do anything. But that person made the comment, they're like, that's unacceptable. And I'm like, hey, like, this is what we deal with. You can never get it perfect. And he's like, I can get it perfect with this and this and this. So I was getting a little snarky at him. And he's like, well, you're not learning anything. And I'm like, okay, I need to approach this a little bit differently. And I'm like, okay, I apologize. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I apologize. This was a job that didn't turn out very well. I wasn't happy with it. Like, I tried everything. And I basically asked him, like, do you get it perfectly every single time? And he's like, yeah, basically I do. He's like, yeah, I get it perfect with my process. And I'm like, and I basically answered at the end, I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know where to go with that one.
But
he's going to get it perfectly every single time.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Like listening to you talk about that situation, I don't believe that he gets it perfect every time.
Exactly.
And And the thing about it is when you do get those type of people, I guarantee that you possibly looked at his channel and he probably didn't have not one video.
Yeah, there was some stuff on there, but it wasn't like a detailing channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those the ones that know everything. You go to their channel, either is if it is a detailing channel, they don't get any views or they don't have any subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they know everything, but can't get anything running off the ground. So that's what I'm saying. Like and I'm not talking about like I'm not talking about this has happened one time. I'm talking about every single time I get a negative comment, I go look at their channel.
Mm-hmm.
Either it's a channel that has nothing on it, like not even a picture, no nothing, just somebody who's just on there following people. That's it. And
Yep.
and like I said, if they do have a channel, it doesn't get any views. And then when you look at their videos, it doesn't show you anything about, like if you like, okay, you didn't get all the stains out, right? Where is their video with a car that was similar to that they got all the stains out, and you
Exactly.
won't find it.
Exactly.
So my the way I deal with it is that I don't deal with it. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yep.
If you come off, I'm sorry. I rather go with my gut and be wrong. I rather just go with my gut and be wrong. If that was constructive criticism, well, you need to learn how to be constructive. You need to learn how to voice how to speak to where it'll be receiving. If
Mm-hmm.
it's not, you know what I do? I hit the block button,
Yeah.
and I don't deal with them no more. Like I'm done. So
Yep.
I don't deal with that. That's one thing with me. I don't deal with that. And I noticed that the more my subscribers grew and my views and my likes grew, so did the negative comments and the thumbs down. They grew as
Mm-hmm.
well. And the thing is, if you respond back, that's the biggest mistake sometimes. By responding back, now it's going to be a back and forth.
Yep.
I'm not giving them that satisfaction. If you feel that way, that's fine, but you're going to feel that way. You're not going to know how I feel. You just gonna keep your feeling. You go on with your business. But I'm not. That's one thing. I started YouTube. Well, I've been on YouTube for years, but when I started the lawn care and detailing channel was late 2015, and I told myself that if that happens, that this is what I was gonna do. I told myself. Now, uh, when I started making videos, I never got thumbs down, and then when I got my first thumbs down, I was like, "What? That I'm not gonna lie, it was like, man, that did make me, it did affect me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I brushed it off and I just kept moving forward. And I'm not gonna, that's the thing, I'm not gonna give them the satisfaction. And if you I have a lot of videos talking about this. Well, not a lot, but I got quite a few videos talking about this very subject. I just don't deal with them at all. Sometimes I laugh. Sometimes it's so funny the things that they say. Like it's just like, some of them talk to you like they actually live in your house with you, like they know you. So it's just like it's not it doesn't benefit you. It doesn't benefit your channel. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
So my advice to you: don't deal with it at all.
Yep.
I
Good
don't do it.
advice. I'm gonna do that because that stuff does annoy me, and I'm like, I don't want to block anyone, but hey, I that's good advice.
Oh my! Hey, we call it over here. We call it the block party. And it's a lot of people over there.
Yep.
A lot of
Yep.
people over there. They partying, they drinking, they living it up. I mean, every time I see something, I don't even waste no time. Boom, block.
Yep. Good. That is good. I'll be implementing that.
Right. Well, man, it was good. It was fun, man. I was, like I said, I was looking at your channel, and I was like, and I wanted to talk about this, and I was like, who other than Miranda that I could talk to this about? So I was like, let me contact him because uh Eric Jones, Tolley's, who else? G Works, they all within the last like 6 to 8 months, double, at least double their subscribers.
Hmm.
And so like they're all been doing the same thing, being consistent, dropping videos, uh, making sure they put out good content for the people to see. And so, I just want to, and it's a lot of people, like when I go live, sometimes you got people who come into the chat and you can just tell by the way they act, or the way they type or what they do, that they want to be seen. And I could tell that this is a person who wants to grow a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to get it. I just want, instead of me talking all the time, I wanted someone else to give their perspective on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Hey, well, definitely. Thanks for having me on. I noticed somebody asked, what about iMovie? Um, you can't get iMovie on PC, I don't think, right? Because I just use PC. But I'm sure if you have a Mac, I've
Right.
heard that iMovie is good and it's pretty intuitive. It's pretty easy to use.
Right.
I just don't have experience with it because I don't use Macs. But from what I've heard, I think it's actually pretty similar to Filmora and the way that it looks, the way that you format your videos and drag and drop stuff, that it's pretty easy. But
Right.
but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I definitely know after searching all these different other programs that one was one of the best ones.
Okay. All right, man. It was fun, man. We're not gonna hold you. I know you said you only could do an hour. We've been over.
Yeah,
We've been
yeah,
about
I
at
know
least an
it's
hour and
been a
30
long
now.
day. But thank you
Okay,
for
man.
having
So
me
I'm
on.
gonna let you go, man.
All right. Yeah, good talking to you. We'll hopefully see you next time.
Okay. Appreciate you.
All right. Take care, man.
All right. All right, everybody. I'm gonna wrap this thing up, but just a few things before I go. Uh, is y'all, the same thing that I say all the time. I mean, he said pretty much the same thing, similar. It's just all about, if you guys want to do YouTube videos, just start somewhere. It's not, it's probably gonna suck your first time. When you're looking for, like free software or software that you have to pay for, some of them are gonna suck, but he gave out some good ones. What he said, Filmora. So basically, guys, just you got to be consistent. You got to have good content. You can't let the negativity stop you. You got to do your research. Look at these other people's channels and see what they're doing. See what the people that have a large following or a fast growing following, see what they're doing, and try to do the same thing, but in your own way. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I think we got up to 30 today. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the support. I mailed out about 7 shirts today. G Works, I gotta wait on your size to come in. And I forgot to send Christie's G Works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to go back to the post office and send hers. I just thought about that. But when you guys get these shirts, I want you guys to to trick them out. Like, get your logos put on them. Uh, take pictures with them on. When y'all do y'all videos, have the shirts on in your videos. Like, really support this new wave network, man. Let me go through the chat real quick and just shout a few people out, man. What's going on, Noda Rob? I see you. Rowder's Details, Elijah, J Jack. We got Roddy Connigang in the building. Lethal Simplicity, G Works, Auto Elite. What's going on, big dog? Sporties, my guy. What's up, big dog, in the building? Crayro, I see you. Slam Sappy, what's going on, big dog? Z Customs, what's going on, man? Dealing Stone, what's going on? 601 Auto Detailing in the building. MW, People's Choice Mobile LLC, Kings Deluxe. All right. Appreciate you, everybody, for stopping by, man. Till next time. Peace.